Hi everyone, this video is going to help you with the formal sentence definition section of task 11. Let's start off by reviewing what formal sentence definitions are. We've talked about them in the first half of the course. Let's take a look at that name, formal sentence definition. So it's definitely a definition, right? You're explaining what the technology is, but very basically, you're going to give more details later in the parts analysis and the operating principles. So this is the reader's just first basic definition of what it is. Okay, so we're going to go through some examples and the formula. All of the examples are one sentence long. It's a formal sentence definition, so it's a full sentence. It follows the formula. It's a formal sentence definition. It needs to follow a formula. And part of that formula is giving two pieces of information about the technology, usually things that are unique about it. So the formula is, you start with the name of the technology, you give it a class. We talked about classes before, and I'll review that a little bit later. And then those two defining features, two things about it. Okay, so here are some examples of very simple things. A wrench, name of technology, a wrench is a tool that, thing one, tightens and loosens bolts. Two, with a twisting motion. Okay, follows that formula. A Nintendo Wii is a device used to play console games. Thing one, using a specialized motion sensor controller. Thing two. A Wii is different than other games that have whatever joystick or controller that they have. It's got a specialized motion sensor controller. Okay, microwave oven, a countertop sized device, heats food using microwave radiation. Caulking is a pliable substance used to seal joints or seams, hardens after application. Hasbro mousetrap, device, series of strange objects, catch a mouse. Right? All follows that formula. So when we're using formal sentence definitions for more complex technology, the formula stays the same, right? You don't need the definition to be more complex. Again, you're giving more details later in your technical summary. So I'm going to give you some more examples. And here's one thing that's typically we can do for formal sentence definitions for those two defining features. For the first one, say what it does. And for the second one, you can switch the order here, it doesn't really matter, but one of them should be what the technology does, and the other is how it does it in a unique way. So if we look at, again, the Wii, there are lots of ways to play console games, but the Wii has a special controller, this motion sensor controller. So that's how it's different from other game systems. Okay, so here are some examples. A Mars rover is a machine that travels the surface of Mars, that's what it does, and sends data back to Earth. In this case, I didn't have two different ones. I didn't have how it does it. I did two things that it does. But all the others, it shows what the technology does, I've underlined it, and I've highlighted how it does it. Biofilter is a device that purifies the air. How? Using microbes found on plants. The Gravia lamp is a device that how uses gravity to do what? Power a floor lamp for 4 hours. Geothermal heat pump system heats and cools buildings. What? How? Using temperatures found under the earth. The Daedalus flight pack is a device that allows a user to fly. How? Using micro gas turbines attached to the user arms. So that's my basic review of formal sentence definitions. You can take a look at the ones that you used for other assignments. So let's go back to task 11, and I've got a couple of questions that are going to help us look at the components for that formal sentence definition. So first is what class, okay? And I've got some little reminders of our definitions of those different classes. So take a look at those and decide on one. It does more than one thing, as we said, but you don't want to list all of those things in a formal sentence definition. It has to be kind of, it has to be fairly simple. So take a look at all of those four things. We looked at them here in the operating principles. We looked at four things that it does. So how are those four functions all related? Okay, so we've got, again, four possibilities. So you take, next is number 8. What allows it to do the things that are listed? What's the most obvious defining feature? You look at a green roof and you say, oh, this is the thing that that makes it different, that it does these things differently. For the geothermal heat pump, lots of things heat and cool buildings, but how does the geothermal heat pump do it? It uses heat from underground. For biofilters, it was the fact that plants were used. It's a filtration system that's different from other ones because it uses plants. Okay, so for number 9, you're actually writing that formal sentence definition. You want to take the class from number 6, the basic thing that it does from number 7, and how it does it, a defining feature from number 8. You put those all together, you make a formal sentence definition, right? And we're using, again, guys, information from, most of it you can probably do from the design guidelines for green roofs, but you know all about green roofs by now from the 2 articles that we've read. So that should help you do the formal sentence definition. All right, guys, that's it for now.